And welcome to the Writers Corner live show. Here on the Writers Corner live show, we connect authors to each other and we help readers find new authors to love. Now, you probably already have your favorite type of book, either fiction or nonfiction, but you never know. We may just introduce you to your new favorite genre to love or even help you discover some books that don't quite fit into the traditional genres. On the Writers Corner live show, you will meet seasoned as well as new and aspiring authors. Some of our seasoned authors share their tips and tricks of how to get published right the first time. On the Writers Corner live show, you get to hear the backstories straight from the horse's mouth. So we invite you every Tuesday to come and join us live for the Insider's Scoop on the Writers Corner live show. Hello, everyone, and a huge, big, warm welcome to this week's edition of the Writers Corner live show. My amazing co-host is Mary Elizabeth Jackson. She's an award-winning author of the Foolishes children's book series, and she's currently working on another book as well as writing a movie screenplay. She's a wife and the mother of 3 inspirations. Mary is also a special needs advocate and she lives in Nashville in the USA. So do let us know where you are watching from. So I'm your host and producer today, Brigetti Limbanda, and welcome to the show, Mary.
Hi, thank you for that warm welcome. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, so I'm in Tennessee and in the United States, and it's so exciting for us that we get to do this show together, and we are in 2 complete different places in the world. So it's just so wonderful technology for these kind of reasons, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I do love it. Now, I want to let you, the audience, know that we were supposed to have a special guest on our show today. And unfortunately, something cropped up at the last moment, and it's not possible to have him. So we are rescheduling that interview, and we will have some more information back on that again. But it's been a long time since we've chatted about what you do, Mary, because you've written the Poolicious series. And so we'll take the opportunity to talk about that today.
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
For those who haven't heard your story about the Poolicious series, how did you get started? What was your inspiration for getting into writing, being an author, and specifically the Poolicious series?
Mm-hmm. Well, that stems from my late in life son that I had at 45, turning 46. So that was a huge surprise in my life, which led to the writing of the books. I've written my whole life a lot of poetry. I love poetry a whole lot and am inspired by so many different things in life and in our world that I've kind of done that for myself my whole life. I always wanted to be published, but never really took those steps to move forward because, like most of us, we think it might be too hard. We don't know where to go. We don't know what to do. We don't know who to talk to. We don't even think it's possible. So I'm not unlike a lot of other people out there trying to get into the writing field or being published. So mine happened after I had my son, like I said. So I birthed the baby late in life, but then I birthed the children's series, is what I say. And I was very much inspired by him. And for those that have heard my story, it is, and then there are those who have not, but I had a very difficult pregnancy in the end, and they prepared us for some not really good things with him. If he would survive even. And then the same for me after having him with a post-surgical infection was a pretty grim situation. So in that recovery place is where the words for this book came. I was nursing, and it was just one of those very kind of surreal, sacred moments in my life of complete gratitude. I'm actually having goosebumps right now in the back of my neck from just thinking about that time period in my life and sitting there with him and being so incredibly grateful to be alive, and he was alive and we made it and we're here. And also that combination of that tenderness of spending time with a newborn and just how delicate, fragile, sweet that is. And that's kind of where the words came from. And so the premise behind the book is that we as mommies and caregivers and grandparents and whoever and siblings, we think babies are perfectly made just how they are. Even within those imperfections, there is perfection in there. And so that's kind of, that is the premise behind the story, is to find those silver linings, to be in that place of gratitude, to find that sweetness in life that is greatly missing for a lot of us in the world that we live in today. So
Yeah.
I have I am statements in there, and I think they're very empowering for children. They're very empowering for any of us. If you're having a bad day, say, I am having fun, or I am great, or I am awesome. It's a pep talk for yourself to kind of pull yourself
Oh,
out of,
yeah. I mean, for
yeah.
sure. Affirmations are amazing, and I think specifically self-affirmations, because we internalize what we think about ourselves. We internalize what we say about ourselves. And so if we have these powerful affirmations, we can actually change the direction of our day. And if we do
Absolutely.
that every day, we can have a positive direction every single day.
Absolutely. So my thought was, why don't we start a baby off young, right away, right as they're just coming into this world? Because the first book is really geared for little newborns, all the way up to like 4, depending on where a child is intellectually, or where their reading level is and their understanding. The pictures are big, the font is large. And I know for me, when I was experiencing, when Carson was little baby, 3 months old and 6 months old, when he would get all cranky, I would sit him in my lap and we would look through books, and he would completely calm down and totally focus and be very happy. So all of these things went into play for the book and its intention and its journey. And I wanted it to go along with his life. So the second one is about toddlerhood. And the third one I'm very excited about. The illustrations, I have the same illustrator for this book. And like, she just sent me a couple of illustrations the other day, and I just, oh my gosh, I get so excited when I see them because she's so incredible. And it's about 4, 5, 6 years of age. And the different quirky things that little kids have, and helping them to understand that even though they have these quirky little things, they're still okay. Mommy still thinks you're perfectly made. We still love you. You have one ear that's a different size, or an eyebrow that's kind of funky, or your teeth are missing because they're falling out, but you're getting new teeth. Little things like that children, do think about. And they're all meant to empower kids and to start them off very young. So it is very close to my heart, and it means a lot to me. And so I'm hoping that those messages can get out there in the world, and that the books can also be used for sacred, special, reading with a child is very, very special. It's that whoever's doing it, that's precious.
What I also love about the Policious book is that you've also got audio with it. There's some very beautiful songs that are available on iTunes that go with the book. How did that come about?
That's all part of the story. It's really quite beautiful. I was looking, I had sat on the manuscript for about 2 years, and something kept saying, you need to do something with this. So I finally went to someone who introduced me to Thornton Klein, who is the co-writer of the second and third book with me. He is a songwriter and an author himself. And he looked through, we were introduced to each other. We went and had lunch. I gave him all these things I had written, and he fell in love with the Policious manuscript. And he said, hey, can I write 10 songs for this? And I went, well, yeah, absolutely. And so within a week, he had 10 songs written. And I remember when he came to my house, and he got on my keyboard with my girls, and he sang the songs and he played them for us. And I cried. I cried because he captured the essence of what I was writing. And that in itself, I mean, when you have a creative mind and you have creations in your mind as a writer or an artist or a singer-songwriter or whatever you are, even an actor, when you can get somebody else to grasp that concept and bring it to life, that's one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. It's just so amazing, to
Just
see it
making
come
that
to life.
connection.
Yeah, and go, oh my gosh, so this is now out here for other people to share, and see and kind of feel what's inside, what's going on, and what I'm thinking and feeling and trying to express to others. So I think he did an incredible job. And then my girls got to record the songs in his studio. And this is a replication of my little guy on the cover. So it really was kind of it was a family, it's been a whole family thing, which I just absolutely love and am so grateful for that. So everybody's kind of participating in it.
Oh yes, and you've really kept it all in your family because your girls love singing as well, isn't it?
Yes, they are. Yeah, we're actually right now. I have been working very hard to get their video. It's not an easy feat, but anyways, we have a video and a single coming out for my girls. I'm super excited about it. So I'm hoping in this next month, we're going to be launching that on iTunes and about 150 different places to stream music. So I will let you know, and I'm very excited about that for them. That's a very cool experience for them.
That's wonderful. So how did this sequel to Poolicious come about?
I guess because I like to try to write from the viewpoint of a child. So it was like being in his world and seeing things through his eyes is where that inspiration came for writing it. Because babies and children think in very simple terms and very simple words, and their logic, even though it can be very complex and brilliant, it's also very simple. So, he's inspired all of it. I mean, he's inspired another book I've written, and it's not in the Poolicious series, but he had his superhero towel on, and he was running out of the shower, out of the bathroom, and I went, oh my gosh, there's a book, So it's being around that inspiration, at least for me, that's where it all comes from. It's just being around that age and all of that sweetness and fascination and wonder, which it's a great place to be because it keeps you in a very positive place in your life, and it keeps you, when we can stay in that place of wonder and questions and what are the possibilities of this and what are the possibilities of that and what are my options here. I mean, your life experience can be completely different, and I've had that chance as an older mom to see the wonder of life through his eyes, where I didn't with my older girls, just life being busy. And those are just moments that I won't ever take for granted. I cherish those. They're very special, It keeps me going.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Can you talk for a second about your journey going from writing to becoming a published author? What was that journey like for you? And did you go the self-publishing route, or did you, or how was your journey getting published?
Well, it was very exciting because it was all new. So all of it was just kind of like once I said I just surrendered to what I kept getting that internal nudging for, telling me to go do this. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I just said, okay, fine, I will go do this. So I went and talked to someone, and then I talked to someone else who led me to someone else. And then once I was connected with Thornton, which you can find him at thorntonklein.com or kleintelmusic.com, and he has a whole children's series as well as other books too. And he's very, very talented. But after that connection and he wrote the stories, then because I think he had 7 books published at that time. So I luckily enough was able to partner with someone who'd been on that journey and could guide me through. So now part of what I do and Thornton does is we give back to others trying to make that journey, because I didn't know what I was doing. And I know what it's like to feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help.
I think that's powerful. I think that's a powerful statement. So I just want to isolate that very quickly. If you are new to writing, if you want to get published, partner with people. It's like anything else that you want to do in the world. If you want to get something done and you haven't done it before, surround yourselves with people who have already done it. It's like, they say, if you want to be a successful person, surround yourself with successful people. And so if you want to become a published author, surround yourself with others who have been on that path already. Join a book club, join a group of authors. Find inspiration from those who have already gone down the beaten path and find out what they did. So that's great advice right there.
Well, they can check their, like, wherever they live, look up, look up for your city or town a writers club and ask to join, because that's a great connection there. And we have several of those here in this area. And it's kind of like, I believe totally in what you're saying. And after getting published, I reached out to some females who were very successful in what they're doing. And I said, hey, can I learn from you? Because I want to be where you are. That's what I want to do, and you got to be careful how you say it, obviously, so you don't come off creepy, So, you need to kind of make that friendship and go, okay, I'm not stalking you. I just want to ask you questions. And, we have a local author here who is self-published. We've interviewed her, and she's such an inspiration to me in what she does. And she's been very successful on Amazon as a self-published author. Because of being connected to Thornton, I ended up going the publishing route, and we did the pitch letter and sent out to probably 20, 25 different publishers. And we were accepted by Black Rose Publishing, Black Rose Writing. And actually there was another publisher that was looking at us at the same exact time, and Black Rose made the offer before the other publisher did. So we took Black Rose's offer, and I'm very grateful that we did.
So Mary, that's an important point as well. Sorry to cut in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's not a matter of simply writing to one publisher thinking, that's all I need to do. So you've written to at least 20 different publishers.
Well, you need to submit. I think the going submission, thought, is 30 to 50 publishers. Unless you were already with somebody who is just going to accept everything you send them, you need to investigate. WritersDigest.com is a great tool for anyone who needs to look for an illustrator, or an illustrator looking to get hired, or looking for publishers. There's a lot of research involved. I always say the easiest part of this whole journey is writing, because it kind of flows through you, unless you're stuck. The rest of it is a lot of work, because, when you get to that place where you have to write a pitch letter, you have to look at yourself like, and this is not the funnest part of it, but you do have to look at yourself like as a business, a business tool that you're selling to someone. Why do they want to publish your book? Well, you have to talk them into it. Say, I'm going to make you some money because this is what my book is, and what my book says, and what it's going to do for you. And it's all a business transaction. And that's the way you have to look at it, and not get your feelings hurt when you're rejected, or when that's the way you're looked at, as opposed to a creative human being. We want to keep ourselves in integrity and our work in integrity. But when it boils down to it, it's like, how much money can you make a publisher? Or are you going to be successful?
Now, that's an interesting point that you've touched on there, because I see this happening in all kinds of careers. Like someone wants to become a doctor, or a machinist, or a accountant, or whatever it is. So you go and you learn your trade, but nobody teaches you the actual business aspects, and in particular marketing skills, because whatever direction you go in, you need to be able to market your skills, and it doesn't come naturally, and it's an integral part of your chosen career path. And so likewise with writing, I've seen that with so many of the authors that we've spoken to on the Writers Corner live show. It's not a matter of producing your book and then you sit back and you wait for the money to come rolling in, right?
No, it's marketing is a very, very, even that's a misconception that people have, that you get with a publisher and then you get to sit around and, go out to lunch and whatever. It's not like that at all. Even with the Big Five, which is the name for the largest publishers in the industry, some people aspire to go to that. They want to get into the Big Five because they think, oh, the royalties and, I'll make all this money. And But even those people, if they want to go that route, still have to work really hard. Publishers expect you to work hard on your book, even though they offer ways to help, and they offer marketing packages, and they submit your books and things like that. So what happened for me was, we signed, I think we sent out in April of May of 2016. By August, and it was fairly quickly actually in this whole process, because I think Thornton waited 2 years for his first contract. So by August of 2016, we got a contract, or we finished signing it, through August, September, October, and it was published February 9th. And so for me, the first week of the book being published, I had a launch party at my house with probably about 50 to 100 people came. And it was really nice because Thornton played his violin and the girls sang. And so we had more than just a book. So it really did kind of make it special. And everyone was just so supportive and wonderful. And then I had 3 radio shows that week, interviews set up, and a library interview. So I really pushed it hard. And then within 3 months, we sent off to Maxie, the Maxie Award. So they are a literary, they're a foundation, a nonprofit, and they do literary awards for books in all genres. So Poolicious by May 2nd, I think it was, won the Gold Literary Maxie Literary Award for 2017 for children's books. And then BookBub did this, did a huge promotion, which they pick books to promote. So it was very exciting coming out of the gate, as you want to call it. So when you become a published author, you do have to put yourself out there, because you need to contact libraries to set up book signings and events. You need to look for different, maybe festivals or places where vendors can be. You need to look for local radio, local TV, and kind of cover all that area before you go outside, unless you're already coming in as a famous author and have tons of money. You know what I mean? So you need to really cover your whole area locally as best possible, and then move out from there. And there's lots of different ways to do that. And I'm saying this, you got to do all this work yourself, unless you have the money to hire somebody. Otherwise, it's you doing it. And but you make great connections, and you meet some really awesome people that way. And then when your next book comes out, all you have to do is call and say, hey, my next book's coming out. Can you give me a date to come and be at the library for children, or whatever you're writing. And so it just kind of, doors have opened up from there. And, right now I'm working on an autobiography for a Christian gospel music family. So that's kind of exciting. It's very exciting, not kind of, but it is. It's just something different than I've written before. And then I'm working on a book about being an empath and intuitive, kind of highly sensitive people in the world. And then now I've got a really big project that's starting. And it's going to be a kid's book for ages 4 to 8 in schools across the country. So it's very exciting. So it's just kind of, connections have been made, and so we'll see what happens, But it's great to continue to be creative. And if you want to write, you need to write, but you got to get it out of here or out of here, and you have to get it on paper, because if you don't, then it never gets written. Like my 15-year-old has 2 books she's working on, which I love it, because it's allowing her to be creative. It gives her something she feels good about herself, and a way to channel her energy. And but it was all up here forever, and she kept telling me the story, and I said, honey, I can't even follow this. You have to write this. So now every second she's writing, and she's within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, she's already on chapter 4 or 5. She's boom, 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 just coming out of her head on paper. But I kept saying to her, it has to get out of your head, or it'll never get anywhere,
Right.
So it's very important.
That is amazing. And it's wonderful that she's able to start her journey as a writer at such a young age.
Yes, and she will be a published illustrator this next year. So I'm really excited for her, because she's an artist. So I have her doing illustrations for me. And so I'm excited for her to kind of, we have one life to live. So I kind of look at it. I look at life that way. We have one life to live. So instead of sitting in a box, let's go outside the box and let's try different adventures and really celebrate this and have fun. Because we all have really hard times in our life, and we have crap that's happened to us, all of us. Nobody's immune to that in the world, I don't think. So if we can have these sparks of brilliance and wonderfulness, then we need to embrace them.
Can I ask you, Mary, has being a published author opened up any opportunities or doors for you?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it has. This thing that I've approached, that I'm talking about, could be, for schools. I don't think it would have happened had I not been published. Like, having that publishing underneath you, it's kind of like building your resume, and building up. Okay, so I have this certificate and I have this certificate, so I'm qualified, I'm legitimate, So
Right.
yes, it does open up. And the fun thing is, it's like, for instance, the whole thing with the Christian gospel autobiography I'm working on, that happened because of being published and being interviewed on a TV series several times, a TV show that this producer is a part of. And so he said, hey, will you help me write this book? So if I wasn't published, I don't know that he would have ever asked me, So it has opened up doors, and it's wonderful because you get to go in and talk to kids, and I'm hoping that this next project is going to be where we can take this whole set of tools and go in and really inspire kids young to be empowered and with tools that they can carry with them through their life. So
wonderful.
Yes.
And so where can people find your books, Mary?
They can find them on my website, maryejackson.com, and Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble online, blackrosewriting.com, who is my publisher out of Texas, and Reagan and the team are amazing. I'm very grateful for them. They are on BookBub and Goodreads, and I think walmart.com also. So several different places you can find them, and please go purchase them. Give them to your child, or donate to a church, or a neighbor child, or a school, or a preschool, because they are empowering for kids. They're teaching lessons. The music is really beautiful, and it's short and sweet and calming. So it's not like get up and run around and scream music. It's calming music for children, which is nice,
So what ages are they aimed at?
0 to 5 right now. These two are 0 to 5, and then the third one will be for, kind of going into kindergarten and first grade, second grade kind of thing. So yeah, I'm excited, and I love it, and it's beautiful, and it's just really, it's been an adventure that I didn't see in my glass ball, earlier in my life, because we all get one. We just don't always look at it, right?
Amazing, wonderful. Mary, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. And we will reschedule Carrie Azure, and we will advertise when that will happen again. So thank you very much to everyone for joining us live, and thank you very much to our replay viewers as well. So from me, Bridgetti Limbanda in Cape Town in South Africa, it's goodbye for now. We'll see you back same time, same place next week again.
Yeah, and we want to tell people that, we started this journey together with Writers Corner Live, that had I not been published, we wouldn't have done this together. And so, go check out Writers Corner Live TV, check out our author group, join the group, and we're almost at a year. This summer will be a year we've been doing this, and we've met so many awesome people, haven't we?
Absolutely. So, bye everyone.
Bye.